everything seemed it was going to be sorted out yesterday, but now I do believe there's a big chance that the war might escalate to some levels that I'm not sure if we are ready to about escalation. But there's one thing that I want you to be ready, and that's to be ready for the altcoin entries if that happens. So this is what we are going to talk about today. Understand where we are. I will not focus too much on the war or on the conflict. Not my thing, to be honest. There's enough people covering that. I want to spread a bit of positivity. Just going to tell, be aware that might be an escalation. Be aware that things might not go as planned. And that's what I'm thinking, what I think is happening right now. I think everyone thought this was going to be something really quick, was not expecting such a response from Iran, and now everyone is getting surprised, and the 4 weeks can be longer, and you need to be ready for that, okay? But this usually means opportunity, and we are here to capitalize on the opportunities, and that's what we are going to do today. And yesterday, crypto had an awesome bounce, even with the pre-market as we saw it on the red. And I do believe that's because I've spoke about this a lot of times. I do believe that's because of the diminished returns that we are seeing right now. Being in stocks right now, do you think Nvidia can 2x? What do you think is easy right now for 2x? Or even just, yeah, let's go for a 2x. Buying Nvidia or buying Bitcoin? Or buying XRP? Or buying ADA, that they are having a clash? I don't know what's going on with Charles from ADA. Something is going on. And we are going to discuss that also today. But just remember this. Now, with all the drama in crypto, what's the easiest 2x that you can have? It's in stocks. Do you think oil is going to 2x? Gold to $10,000? Silver to 250? I hope so. Or 180 because today's at $80. Even Ethereum, it's an easier 10x than silver. I think so. So maybe things are starting to shift on crypto. And if you don't believe in me, maybe believe in the Bitwise CEO saying that there was some sort of a shift and that things might start changing. I think it's too early to say that. I do believe that what we saw yesterday was a very good sign of what's happening right now on the market. And even the ETFs, they had some positive inflows, and that's something that I want to show you too. Give me just a moment because I closed the window by mistake. But yeah, look at this. No one is telling you this, right? Here, we are not having outflows anymore. We are not having outflows in ETFs anymore. We did saw something changing. Okay, some will argue that's the March rally in the midterm years, etc. Let's see. Maybe now they are right. But that's something that's why we are here every day, so that you can keep track on it. But there's a sentiment shift here. Okay, we had inflows yesterday, and yeah, it's almost $500,000 of inflows on Bitcoin. So things are changing, and the pump that we saw yesterday, I think it was a good sign. Okay, if you follow this channel, you caught the pump, right? And we always respect the pump here. But even though it's not just Bitcoin, yesterday we longed the shitcoin too, a shitcoin that a lot of people call it a zombie. But look at this from DWF. I will show you who he is. Head of DWF. And look what he said here. We have accumulated quite a lot of shitcoins, altcoins, Bitcoin, and BNB in the last month, waiting for the market to rebound, and you will see market activation that you have probably never seen. What do you think of this? Let me know in the chat. I want to know. You are always so quiet on the chat. If I continue to see the chat like this, I will just do pre-recorded videos. I'll just record a live stream and that's it. But what do you think of this? You know, I'm on this side. I'm a perma bull on altcoins. I do believe that altcoins are going to surprise a lot of people. But now it's the head of DWF telling you that. It's not me. Just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Let's see what the future reserved to us. But I do believe that those that believe in the future of crypto are going to be rewarded, and those that didn't believe, I respect them, but it's what it is. When the time comes, we will see. Now, I don't like to call the bottom. I will not call the bottom. As I said, I still think we are going to range for a few weeks. If nothing major happens, that's something that we are going to others now. But you already have people calling for the bottom. And it's not 𝗕𝗠. 𝗕𝗠 is calling for the bottom, but he's always calling for the bottom. Always. Every time there's some pump, now it's the bottom. Now it's the bottom. You know, 𝗕𝗠 is always calling for the bottom, and then there's no bottom and you go lower. So, but now, someone different calling for the bottom.
50% from our highs of last October.
Right. So, you know, our view coming into 26 is that Bitcoin is governed by the two things you know about Bitcoin: limited supply at 21 million and the halvening cycle, where the Bitcoin miners who run the network get paid half the number of Bitcoin every 4 years. There's been an investing cycle. Bitcoin goes up 3 years in a row, goes down pretty massively in that fourth year. 2026 is that fourth year. So that's why we're in a Bitcoin bear market, excuse me. So I don't think we can I think we can overcomplicate it. Now, I think we're making a bottom, and this is a very nice sign of life.
I'm not calling for the bottom. I'm not going to call it, but this is the VanEck CEO thinking that we are making a bottom. Now, this is something that you need to pay attention. And let's go to the chart. So this was all long yesterday. Is there someone was saying that now that I was crazy for placing this limit order? You there? Hi, I'm here. So let's see. So like I was saying, and I don't like to call it for the bottom. Why? Okay. First, we have the war escalating. I do believe there will be a major escalation. Trump yesterday said that Iran haven't seen anything yet, and that they will see whatever. They are responding also, and I don't want to focus too much on that, but just be aware of the escalation, okay? Now, we need to understand that this might be a bottom process, but it's still too early to be, okay? We had the PMI coming above 52. We already spoke about this. The PMI coming about 52 for 2 months in a row usually signs economic expansion. I did a live stream about this, and we had our confirmation. It came above 52 again. And if you remember that live stream that I did where I explained the importance of PMI, you will also remember that I said the data, always data, never noise, always data, that the data tell us that after the second PMI coming above 52, gold and silver tops usually in 1 or 2 months, and then crypto rally. Remember, I said this, okay? And I know there's the live stream where I said this. So again, we had our second PMI above 52, and the data tells at least 1 month or 2 months for gold and silver to top, and then the other asset starts to run. So if things don't escalate, if everything goes well, I do believe this is a bottom process, and maybe we are going to be ranging on this range for a few months, for 1 month, 2 months. Let's hope not 8 months like we did in 2024. And I wouldn't be surprised that we saw coming lower to 63. I still believe that this week we might go to this week and around 62, and then we go again higher, and then we're going to clean some shorts and we touch 73, and then you come lower, and we are ranging here. This is perfectly possible, and that's a bottom process. If you go check the 2022 chart, you will see that we range for a lot of time. Same in 2024. We range for a lot of time. 8 months in 2024. It was 8 months of ranging. It was so boring. It was really boring, that one. So I don't like to call for the bottom here. I do think that we are having a massive reaction from crypto. like it's ignoring the flood of war. But you need to understand that if something escalates, gold and silver will go higher. Easier. Gold and silver will go higher. Now, everyone now is talking about oil and LNG. Now everyone wants to trade oil and natural gas. That's now that's usually a top side. Okay, I'm not telling you it's the top, of course, with the escalation that might happen and everything that is going on in the Middle East, but it's like silver, it's like Bitcoin. You want to be in when nobody is, not when everyone starts talking about it. You want to be in when nobody said, "Nah, that's trash. You are wasting money. You are not investing. You are throwing money away." That's when you want to enter. Not now. Now everyone wants to long oil. Now everyone wants to long natural gas. And usually that's not going to work very well, to be honest. Not will not work very well. So yeah, just pay attention to that and understand that a few things might be happening yet, but we are we are on track. Okay, we are on track for things start to look better. Let's hope it's not the March rally. Not because we care about the drop. It's just because I cannot stand the guy that's always bragging about that, and because I cannot contrary him. So now, Clarity Act, and then we go to the charts. Something is going on, okay? And the Clarity Act, like I said yesterday, someone is saying that someone started to say the Clarity Act was not getting even close of an agreement between banks and crypto. Now we know that that's not true. It's really close to be approved. It's really close that we get the bill. But there's something that's not close at all. It's Charles and Brad Garlinghouse. Again, Charles and Brad Garlinghouse, I don't know what's happening. I think they are both genius. I think Charles is way ahead of our time. But I don't understand what's happening here. Okay? But I want you to listen to this because this is another rant. And I want you to listen to this because I think it's important that you understand what I'm talking about.
And you're a security by default. You have to go beg, borrow, plead, and steal to get your way out of the security side. It's not a sustainable or good model. And then you got guys like Brad Garlinghouse come by like, well, we just got to have no bad bill instead of just no bill. No, you climbed up the ladder and you pulled the ladder up so no one else can climb up with you. That's not good regulation. That's the same oligarchy and nepotism that we all complained about with the banks. And because you're on the other side of the table, now it's good for you. So fuck all of us in the industry and all the small guys. We can't have a system where you start as a security by default. You'll never get liquidity. You'll never get listing. You'll never accumulate a user base. You can't fundraise. It just is a non-starter unless you're going to change securities law. But nobody wanted to change securities law. Then the other thing they did is they didn't want to change securities laws. So you know what they did? They made the CFTC the new SEC. And it's almost like that meme with Steve Buscemi or whatever his name is. He's got like the skateboards, like, hello, fellow kids. Like, hello, fellow people. I'm a crypto person now too. The CFTC is not set up to regulate cryptocurrency. So now you have to create a mini SEC in the CFTC because you don't like the SEC.
Let me know. What do you think about this? Do you think there's really a clash? Do you think Charles is right? Do you really think that after everything is going on, do you think Brad Garlinghouse or XRP in this case are advocating for themselves and they are pulling the ladder for new projects? Let me know what you think about this. I will tell you my opinion. Yeah, first, I still want to approach this, but I do think, and I might be wrong here, okay, but I do think there's someone burning out here. And look, I love Charles. I think he's a genius. I hold ADA, as you know. But I do think there's some sort of a burnout here. I cannot understand what's happening here. I'm also an advocate for a bill is. I said this in the past. A bad bill is better than no bill because that's the beginning of something, and then you can discuss and then you can adjust. Okay, and that's something I truly believe in. I think this is a new industry. We cannot come here and say, look, we want all the money from the banks. Of course, they will not allow it. We have to go softly. Like when you are dating and you're meeting someone, you're not going to say, look, let's have dinner on the first date. On the first time you met her, you don't say hello, you don't say anything, you don't present yourself like, oh, I want to have dinner with you. You are going to get rejected. But if you want to get something, you need to be smart, you need to be calm, you need to start approaching and say, okay, I agree. We cannot take everything from you. So let's have something and then we discuss later. That's exactly how things should start. So I don't understand what's happening. I don't know if it's fear of becoming irrelevant. I'm starting to think it is, to be honest, because it's just crashing XRP and Brett Garlinghouse like he did in the past, and then he said, you're sorry, and then it comes to back. I do believe he is having a burnout, and I might be wrong, and I said, I'm a Cardano holder, but yeah, I do believe this, and let's listen to this other clip, and you understand what I'm saying.
Security by default. And because it looks like XRP might get a pass and be one of the grandfathered in, including Cardano, in this whole process, I guess we just have to pass a horrific trash bill that makes everything a security by default, and it creates attack vectors through bureaucratic nonsense for the SEC to destroy all future American cryptocurrency projects. And also, there's nothing in this for DeFi. Nothing. Uniswap doesn't get anything. Prediction markets don't get anything. Armstrong can't even get his yield-bearing stablecoins. This is not a good bill. A security by...
Let me know what you think about this. I really want to know your opinion. I know you guys are not very active in the chat, but I want to know, do you believe he's right? Do you think he's burning out? Do you think he's trying to become relevant? Because he said it was time to act. And it was time to do something. And I'm starting to believe that. I hope the guy hasn't lost it. But I don't like to see this version of Charles, to be honest. It all started when ADA was not confirmed on the strategic reserve. I don't know if you remember that. There was that tweet. It was XRP, Solana, and ADA. And then after all, there wasn't ADA at all or whatever. And then all this mess up started. So from the Ripple side, I think it's... Let's listen. Brett Garlinghouse didn't respond, but 𝗕𝗟𝗀𝗙𝗏 did. Listen, let's look at this. They said that Ripple had a lot of opportunities to advocate only for themselves, which I believe they've been lobbying a lot on the White House. We know that, and lobby is legal on the US. And they try not to do it. And he said they never done just from themselves. This I don't know if it's true or not, but yeah, let's see. But how can I say this? What he's saying is that they also want their competitors to succeed. And when you start to see this, there's no reason to think that XRP or any others is just advocating for themselves. They want a law. They want something. We need that bill. We need the Clarity Act bill. And I think that's what's happening here. You can be that's how you say it in English, a purist. And you want everything there. And if not, I prefer bill to no bill. It's like almost the Bitcoin maxis. They cannot understand that right now there are better technology for payments. I'm not saying Bitcoin is not a store of value. It's not me who has to say it. The market has to show it. But if I want to send money to someone, I'm not going to use Bitcoin. I'm not going to send it on the Bitcoin network. If now I wanted to send money to the 𝗲𝗍 for an emergency, if I had someone there that needed to catch a private plane, do you think I'm going to send Bitcoin that can take 1 hour or more? No, I'm going to send USDC, I don't know, on HBAR or 𝗕𝗟𝗢𝗙 on XRPL or USDT on BNB. Do you understand what I'm saying? You can be a purist and then you say 1 Bitcoin equals 1 Bitcoin. Usually that's when you are at the lows, when you're at the top. Everyone praises the price of Bitcoin. But yeah, I do believe that we need something. I do believe that the market needs a bill. And I'm starting to believe that we are seeing someone burning out. So let me know your opinion here. And I stand by this. A suboptimal bill is better than no bill. Okay? A suboptimal bill is better than no bill. I don't know if everything is like Charles is saying. I do believe that, and I'm starting to think that I'm really starting to think that he's trying to become relevant after losing some relevance in the market. And we know that Cardano is not performing very well. It doesn't perform like it did in past years. And so maybe that's the case. Maybe bet a lot. Maybe they had some leverage bets for the market that he didn't saw getting fulfilled, and now he's worried. There's nothing wrong about that, to be honest. There's nothing wrong about that. Now let's look at some charts, because I know you want to trade. So regarding, let's wait a few, more 5 minutes for Bitcoin. We traded Bitcoin yesterday. Let's wait a bit more and let's look at Ethereum. So Ethereum, let me see. If I wanted to long Ethereum, okay, if I wanted to long Ethereum, I would wait for, here, this area here, okay? And again, these are scalps. These are not swing trades. The market's not for swing trades, honestly. And I hope you are trading this on Bluefin or Prime XBT. So this will be the area where I'll be looking for an entry on Ethereum. And I'll be doing something. Let me see here. Not the exact week, but something like this. Yeah, this will be my entry and my stop loss. I don't like this week here. Let me see. Yeah, I will do this. I will trade this, okay? And then I would set my last TP around this week here. So just as a recap, this will be my entry area, 1942. Anything between this, it's a good place to enter. I would place my stop loss at 1942, maybe a bit lower, just a tad lower. So we can be clear of these weeks years and this one. And yeah, this is a trade. I will take it. Okay, I will take this trade. Honestly, I will take this trade, but this is just me. But I will take this trade. You guys are seeing like, oh, do we have likes? Because I'm trading, and do we have likes here? Or I can't see how many likes we have. So this is the trade I will take. But first, you had to come here, sign up on Bluefin, so you can trade on Bluefin, take advantage of the welcome bonus. And we are going to have more things on Bluefin. So if you're not registering on Bluefin, I think next week you'll regret. So register on Bluefin, take advantage of the bonus, and start trading with us. And also cast card always, so that you can use your profits. So this will be for Ethereum. Regarding Bitcoin, I have to be honest with you. I kind of want to short Bitcoin. Okay. I kind of want to short it. I want to short Bitcoin. I think yesterday was a very good move, but I do believe that we might have some rejection here. So, but this also seems a bit of bull flag. Like, I'm really confused on Bitcoin right now. Because this seems like a bit bull. We can say bull flag, right? We can say that. This is a risky short. Okay, if we did this, there's a high chance that it's risky. But if, I'm confused on what to do. Should we short it or long it now? I'm really confused here. Do you think it's going to reject here? Let's try. Small stop loss. And Nah, let me think better about this. Because this really seems like a bit bullflaggy, but the ball is small. Let me see what you are saying on the chat. You are not saying anything. Should we short or long Bitcoin? Let me know in your opinion. 𝗕𝗟𝗢𝗙 from Romania. Fuck it, let's short it. We are going to short this. Small stop loss, like I said, like really small. Yeah, something like this. This is a very risky trade. It's really risky. But might pay out. Let's leave it here. Okay. So let's see. We have Ethereum here, almost there. We have Bitcoin. I'm going still to reassess this before finish the stream. But it's there. It hasn't. Yeah. Just for you to be aware, it hasn't entered yet. Okay. If I go to a higher time frame, it will look like it's already done, but it's not. We didn't enter this short yet. It would have been an awesome short, but it's not there yet. Okay. It's not there yet, so let's look for another one. Everyone is longing on Bitcoin. Everyone is longing. Short squeeze brewing. Everyone is longing. Bull trap. Short. Let's see. Okay. We need to. I will assess this one before ending the show. I'm not very comfortable on this short. But yeah, let's see. Let's wait. Yesterday we had to wait, and then look, it was an awesome trade. For example, CRV, it was an awesome one. It could have been gone higher, but this was a very good trade yesterday from the show. So yeah. Look at the heat maps. Yeah, sometimes I'll look at the heat maps, but you know everyone has access to the heat maps. Right? Everyone has access to the heat maps, so yeah, I can look at the heat maps. Everyone can look at the heat maps. So let's go fishing. Let's try and go fishing. I want to go fishing. Let me see one thing here. We need to go fishing. Yeah, it makes sense here. Let's go fish here. Small stop loss, as always. And let's target the eyes. Yeah, let's target this week here. It might not come here, okay? Bitcoin is already dropping. Right? Let's see. No. This one, we didn't get fulfilled here. Okay, I'll leave this one here. Let's be patient. And let's remove this one here. It might make sense to enter here. Okay, and I won't argue that this is a good support to enter, but I still think we might come lower. But longing here will not be a bad decision. Okay, with a real tight stop loss for your invalidation, and then you get here, and then you can see if this one gets fulfilled. Okay, yeah, that's me. Now, convex. our paradise for scalps. Let me check the comments. I'm not shorting until USDT pops. This is scalp trades, okay? Then this gave you awesome entries already. You got some awesome entries here already. Let me check the item. So we have a long on CRV. Maybe you should short convex. Let's see. Nope. Let's try this. Sorry. Yeah. So who is betting on a short squeeze? Yes, these stop loss are really small, so there's no way you can go wrong here. Then target this here. Let's see. It's fishing time. It's time to go fishing. Now is there one? Let's look at the meme session now. I look at the USDT dominance too every day, but yeah, let's see. Let's see. Someone is saying that he agrees with Charles. Can you elaborate why? Just by out of curiosity. Why do you agree with Charles? Let me know. So this is a very risky one, but it might play out. So this one might play out. So let's see. Let's start to see if we can get this. Fishing. Check this one. Ethereum. I still believe we are going to get fulfilled. So, but I'm assessing this. Let me know why do you agree with Charles? A lot of people are longing Bitcoin. Damn. I agree with the long here, but I do believe that this might be a good short here also. But I agree with the long. You look another one, XLM. Wait. Is that XLM? Is that support, right? XLM is at support right now. I'm going to long XLM right now. Like now. I'm longing it now, okay? Just put your stop loss here, and you should be Gucci. I'm long now on XLM. And yeah, this seems a good one. Let's see. A risky one, but I'm long now. I'm long on XLM. At XRP. I know, TradingView, there's a conspiracy. TradingView is always removing my XRP charts from here. I think they don't want me to trade XRP. They know. They know. As you're always so quiet on the comments. I need this chat to be more active if I'm live trading with you. I need some emotion on the live. You can even say that I'm wrong, okay, but just say something. And please say that I'm wrong, because that was a good sign yesterday. Look at the high time frame. This is a very risky one, like super risky. But yeah, I'm taking this one, you know. Yeah, I know it's super risky. Like, you shouldn't take this trade by the books. This is why I'm giving it a better stop loss. But I'm taking this trade. And let's see. Look at this. Okay, this one has a wider stop loss, but because it can come lower, okay, around these levels. 144.4, 144.8, it might come to this level here, this area here. So if you don't want to long now, which is smart, not do what I'm doing, because of the US Open, just leave it here. You have it here, okay? But I'm taking this trade now. And I want to reassess our Bitcoin short. Long hype, let's check hype. Let's see. Let's check hype. Guys, do not forget, if you speak Portuguese and you don't follow us yet on Crypto Winter Portugal, you should. You have the link in the description. You go here. And you see here, Crypto Winter Portugal. Go there. Okay. I'm a bit more loose there. So, just so that you measure expectations correctly. I'm a bit more loose there than I'm here. Let's check hype. I shorted hype. I don't know when this was. February. It's at support right now. But maybe around these levels here. Yeah. I will not long hype now. Right now. I will wait for it to come lower. So we can fish. We can leave this here. This might be too low and you missed the trade. So I would place it around these levels here. This first support here. Yeah, around these levels here. That's where I would leave it. But if you want to be more conservative, you can leave it here. But I would long it around these levels here. And with the stop loss, this has to be a big stop loss. For a scalp, It's kind of risky, but it also invalidates the trade if it goes here. So yeah, around these levels here, and the TP outplays. This is scalps, okay? We're talking about scalping, nothing else, just scalps. This would be my full trade if I get fulfilled. Just put it here. If I get fulfilled, this will be my full trade. Okay, so 41.45 as an entry, stop loss at 31. More or less, doesn't have to be exactly. And then this will be my full TP. Okay. Do you think I'm going to get front run it? I'm going to be front run it on the Ethereum. I don't like this. Now this is started. I haven't seen this. This is starting to feel like a bit of bear flag here. Let's see. I'm going to leave the trades. I'm okay with this, but yeah. At least we are going to get fulfilled if it goes there. Let's check link. Guys, you are so quiet on the chat. I'm about to close the stream. Link is pumping also. I always get suspicious of link. Always. Please don't close it. I'm going to close. I have to. Look, I'm going to stream in 45 minutes in Portuguese. I think it's 45 minutes. Yeah, it's 45 minutes. I need to close it. I need to rest a bit. So, link, what should we do? Let's fish. Guys, just one thing. If you are watching these trades, be aware that major escalation, whatever, might get you stopped on all of them. So use stop losses, okay? But they are also small stop losses so that you can be okay and you can survive anything. But I want to go that lower. If you go that lower, it's invalidated. I'll leave it here, not a round number. Fuck round numbers. And I'll target this. Okay. This will be my target for link. And fishing, okay? I'm not entering right now. I do think that we might come lower. And let's see. Let's see. Just be aware of this. Okay, just be aware that if anything happens, if a tweet from Trump, a major escalation, whatever, you can get stopped on all of them. Okay, but that's risk management. BCH. That's support. I don't like it said support. It already reacted here. 1, 2, 3, and it's not the fourth time. I would long this, to be honest. I would long this. There's no reason not to long this. This is one of those that it's a no-brainer. You can wait for it to come a bit lower, tad lower, but I would long this one. Like, no problems at all. Small stop loss always, okay? Remember, you are scalping. You want big wins and small losses. But yeah, I would take this trade like this. I would take this trade. If you want to be a bit, if you want to push it lower because of this week here, you can. But for me, yeah, I'll take this with no problem at all. And I think we are going to start to get fulfilled. Almost there. Still 4. This is a short. What did it show? Ah, did I miss the trade on link? Maybe I missed the trade on link. Okay, XLM, 𝗕𝗟𝗢𝗙𝗂𝗁, AVAX. AVAX is on. So, wait, sorry. AVAX is on. Damn, I don't have the 𝗕𝗏𝗁 short here. I was on Binance, right? Yeah. Come on, I don't want. Damn, if I'm not getting fulfilled here. AVAX was the only one that we get fulfilled. That you got fulfilled, right? It's not. It's never a good sign. XRP. Where did I long XRP? I did long XRP, right? I did long XRP. I'm not seeing things, right? Is this just trading view that it's not showing again? Meme coin war. What's the meme coin war? Let me know. I like that. That's the only kind of wars that I like. It's the meme coin wars. But I did long XRP. Didn't I? Maybe it was not this short, but I'm almost sure I did long XRP. What was the chart? Fuck. I'm almost sure along the it's here. Okay. Okay, so we have this one also. Okay. Did you get fulfilled yet? Nope. Nope. Link. Okay. XLM. It's okay. So far, all good. I already did it. We are already on XLM. Okay. You can see it here. And AVAX. And XRP and BCH. Okay. We are already on these two. So I want to see your P&Ls. You should live in there. Okay. Maybe you should create a group for that. I don't know. So I only know those that are in my community when they follow the trades. They even did a badge yesterday. So which one was ADA? Yeah, let's look at ADA. Why not, right? What should we do? Getting ADA. I don't like this a lot. Okay. This is something that seems kind of flaggy here. More or less. But we are at the bottom of the flag, so are you going to risk this? Do you want to risk this one? Well, if you want to take a long here, it's now. The time is now. So like this. Fuck this. This is the time now. Damn, it didn't. Ah. Okay. Now we in, right? Now we're in, and the stop loss. Yeah, you need to be below this. So give it a little margin and do something like this. This will be the stop loss. And this. And let's target this week here. Okay. Let's see how we doing. You're not longing H bar. I think we missed link for what it is. XLM is Gucci. AVAX is Gucci. Let me see BCH and USDT. This is okay. USDT. Let's see. Maybe it was too early to enter the trade. But we might survive. We will survive. So like this. Guys, I need to finish the show. I'm going to stream in less than 45 minutes. So thank you for being here. Tomorrow at the same time we'll be here. And follow me on X. And if you speak Portuguese, follow us on the Crypto Panther Portugal. Even if you don't speak Portuguese, let's give us some followers so that the algo can pick us up.